What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XCN today, OnyxCoin. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. Let's talk about it, okay? The last video that I made was at the 13th or 14th hour of yesterday, the 21st of February. That was at about the top here, right before we started moving down. I was calling for this as a low, which I was expecting to play off of this low here and this low as well. We were calling for a triple bottom in that video, and it looked like it for the time being, and then immediately after, probably by the time most of you guys watched that video, it was very much invalidated. The great thing about being invalidated here is while I didn't expect to be invalidated, you never expect to be invalidated, or I shouldn't say you don't expect to be invalidated. While I wasn't counting on it, we were prepared for, right? I was absolutely prepared for these prices, and I'll prove it to you that I was prepared for these prices because I actually bought more down on this 4-hour candle here. I actually bought more a little bit higher than the current price is right now, anticipating the price can move lower. And I'm okay with that. The price, let it move lower, whatever. I'm buying here because, not because I think the price could move lower or it's going to pop. I'm buying here because I'm looking at this relative consolidation range. This is the lowest that we've seen the price since, quite literally, since the 24th of January. So here we are a month later, and we're at the lowest price we've been since then. We're at a 63% discount overall from the relative high. I bought because I thought it's a relatively good price. It's arguably the best price right now, is the best price to buy that we've seen in the last month. That's why I bought. So yes, I do anticipate the price to go lower, but just in case it doesn't, I'm okay with buying here, right? Because if it does go lower, whatever, it'll be given back immediately. I'm assuming by the end of the month, we will be at dramatically higher prices than this by the end of the week, right? It's meant to be a short-term play anyway, so I'm letting it sit there. If it does go lower, I'll DCA more. And, I want to talk about that real quick. If we are to go lower, and I think we do go lower, I very much do think that we go lower. If we take this low here to this high, you are just shy of hitting the 1272. Now, you don't need to interact with this line. It's not a requirement. It's not a profit. Somebody didn't go into the desert and find a stone tablet that said this target needs to be met, right? It's just an idea. But whenever you break below the 100 here, this is your 100, the gray line. When you break below that and you find resistance at the 886, you generally do get into your extended areas, right? And I would expect at least 1.67 cents to be on the table until that's achieved. I don't think that we move higher. Or if we do move higher, it's not going to be by much, right? We still have lower to go. Or maybe at the maximum, we could see something that's just below 1.5 cents, okay? It's very possible we could. I want to touch on something real quick and try to just keep it as brief as possible because some people ask why I don't want to see the price interact with this, okay? I did mention that in my past two videos. I was very specific in saying I don't want the price to interact with this level or go below it because we'd have a different conversation if it did. The reason why I wanted to avoid that. And if it happens, cool. If it doesn't happen, cool. Maybe my theory is still accurate, but I don't think it is. I think that it's already inaccurate, but we'll see. I was thinking this was a 5-wave Elliott impulse count, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if this was a 5-wave impulsive count right here, right? Generally with Elliott waves, it's the third wave and the fifth wave that are the biggest waves. The first wave is generally the smallest. Your second and your fourth wave are consolidation phases. This would be your fourth wave if we had a 5-wave count. The reason we want a 5-wave count, or we want to validate that it is because that assures us, more or less, that we do have higher prices to go, okay? The reason why you want to avoid interacting with this level here or anything lower than it is because your fourth wave, your consolidation phase here, is not supposed to interact with your first wave, which is where this high came in. So that's why I wanted to avoid that. But looking at this, I don't know, guys. I don't think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, it could be. It's really weird, but I don't think it is. I think more likely what it is it's just some kind of overall move with an overall consolidation phase. That's it, right? It's not, and there are moves within the moves, of course, but I think we're in a bull flag. Or perhaps this was an overall impulsive wave, wave 1, and this is our wave 2, and we still have a lot more to go. Either way, I don't think it'll be as big of a deal, right? I've come to the conclusion that I don't think it'll be that big of a deal if we go below 1.6 cents. Of course, you want to find a low higher than lower, but if you're looking to buy, the lower the better, I suppose. All I'm trying to say is that not only is it okay if we go below 1.6 cents, but it's actually an expectation at this point. 1.67 is the minimum expectation. Everything else is below 1.6 cents. So 1.45 cents, 1.579 cents, even below that we could go. I don't think that we go too much below 1.3 cents, if at all, even below if at all, even below 1.6 cents, but we could. It's not that I'm talking about these targets because I expect them to happen. I'm talking about them because just in case they happen, you will hopefully have the same kind of mindset that I do here, which is not panicking, but to buy, right? That's why I'm buying here. And again, I'm not buying here because I expect the prices to go down there. If I actually expected the prices to go down here, I would wait. I wouldn't be surprised if the price went down here. It wouldn't scare me. It would not shock me at all. And I have some cash on the side just in case we want to buy more down there. But I am buying here because I'm under the impression we could be finding support soon. And the reason why, if we look at the 1 hour time frame here, getting to the actual TA, we've got higher lows in the 1 hour RSI. We do have a lower high, lower low kind of trend in the RSI as well. Oversold zone with bullish divergence. I think that it might be time to reverse this thing, man. You had a lot of volume come in here at the low. A lot of wick there on that candle as well. As you came back down and got lower lows on a closing basis, you saw no volume coming in to help support that. So I very much think that even if you do sweep this low, even if you do go through that low, it's going to be very short-lived. We're going to come back up. And at the very least, you know, if whether this turns into a significant bounce to celebrate from, or it just turns into a simple like 10 to 20% move from here, and it's a lower high and then something to go lower from. The money that I put in here is still something that we can play with one way or another. So I'm happy buying here. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I literally bought just like barely above. It was at like 1.78 cents, 1.784, something like that, right? I layered throughout there. Not a lot of money. Again, most of the money that I have it's in XCN. XCN is my biggest hold, and then, you know, I've got Bitcoin Cash, Compound, Mana, Cookie DAO. It's more, and I'm drawing a blank on right now. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. The pressure is on, you guys. I've got more than that. Why am I drawing such a blank right now? LCX token. There's more. I'm gonna have to go through my list, but that's beside the point. What I'm trying to say is that what even am I trying to say right here, man? I'm getting all caught up trying to think about what I was trying to buy. All I'm trying to say is I think that it's at a good price to buy. I didn't. Oh yeah, I was saying that I didn't buy a lot of XCN in comparison to what I have already, but it's still enough, a little something. It's what I had on the side for cash to make some play money with, right? To do some stuff with, make some short-term income, or potentially catch a nice pop here. If this is the actual low of this pattern, we might see a nice breakout move that could, I don't think that it'll take us to new relative highs, right? It would be nice if it did. If we just broke out here and then by the end of the month we're already at new relative highs, that'd be phenomenal. I'm not saying it can't happen. It's very possible, especially with this thing, man. Look at how it performs whenever it wants to move up. But likely, whenever we do, I don't know what to call this, when we uncork this bottle here, I don't know. We probably don't rip right above this high immediately. We probably do find turbulence along the way. If we take a high and we put it at this low, assuming that this is the low, it could go lower. And if it does go lower, these targets just change. They'll all get pulled down, okay? But I would expect if this were to be the low, we would have a rather immediate pop up to something that would be above 3 cents. And here we are at 1.7 cents. So that's, you know, that's the appeal to me to buy. Again, the appeal to me to buy is that when we pop up, it's likely going to be a rather robust move up, okay? And if we move down, it's probably not going to be that robust, right? We've seen the majority of the move down. And in fact, what's kind of crazy is it just seems like it's worked. XCN, OnyxCoin, has worked very hard to get to this level. It's very tenacious, right? Whenever it moves up, it seems like it's moving up with ease. So my impression is the bulls are still under control. They're just sleeping right now. While they're sleeping, the bears are having a little bit of fun. But the bulls are about to go on parade. I don't really know what else to say, you guys. I think it's a good time to buy. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I think it's a good time to buy. Every target that we have set forth, it's still there. Every single one. All signs point to something that's probably above 10 cents by the end of March, if not early April, mid-April, something like that. All we got to do, you know, if we look at this as a bull flag, and on a weekly time frame, on a 3-day time frame, I think it's much more obvious as a bull flag. All we got to do is hit the measure move of this flag, and then we're at 36 cents. I don't think we hit 36 cents, not by the end of March, not by the end of April. But if we do this, if this is a bull flag and we perform the same way that you would expect it to, the measure move exists for a reason, you guys. We could see 36 cents by the end of March, by the midpoint of April. But if you're not on board with that, like I'm not on board with that. I'm just talking about it here because it is a real measure move. It's something that we can talk about justifiably, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that from the current price, from the low of this bull flag, we're going to see a 20x. I don't think we're going to 35 cents. What about half of that? What about half of that? Let's say we do half of that. Okay, maybe we do half of that. 17 cents? That's not bad. What about half of that? Let's do half of that as well. 450%, right? Something like that. 9 cents? That's not bad at all. See, right? If this seemed crazy to you, what we did was we took the less crazy, we made it less crazy and even less crazy. And this, to me, in comparison to what we just did, breaking out of this zone, this seems more crazy to me than that target does, right? That's more applicable. That's actually a measure move that we can go off of. There are fib targets up there even, right? Not targets that I expect us to hit anytime soon, but I'm just saying with the mentality or with this kind of perspective, we're at 1.7 cents now. If it goes lower, great. It's just a better opportunity. But when it comes time to break out and move higher, just understand the minimum target is at 10 cents within the next 4 to 6 weeks. So if you're shaking in your boots right now, if you're scared, if you're pessimistic, just swallow your fear, look the other way, close your eyes, hit that buy button or something, and then thank yourself in a month. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I got nothing else for you guys. I'm going to end the video there. Hit the like button if you want to. Subscribe if you want to. I like where we are. Hold on. That was a really bad cough right there. Oh, man. I like where we are in the 3-day RSI. We have a lower low in the RSI here, looking to bounce off the 50. Lower lows with higher lows in price is always a good thing. It's always welcome. The daily RSI, while we did break out of this higher low trend that we were looking to uphold, we are still at an area right now where we have found support. Before, we found support in this area several times, right? Even going back in time here, we found some support in this area, resistance in this area, support in this area here, resistance right there, right? It's somewhat of a significant area for whatever reason. So we could very well find support here. If not, super close to the oversold zone, in which case we really can't go too much lower. And it's just a matter of time, you guys, before we rip. So higher, lower, I don't care. Higher is inevitable. Even if lower is inevitable, the lower is pipsqueaks compared to what the higher is going to be. And I'll just leave it there. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. I'm going to drink some water. Take it easy. Bye.